It seems reversed from last time. Okay. Awesome. So, today we're going to bring you some of the Forsaken starting zones, since those are going away in the next expansion, Battle for Azeroth. I plan on doing the Night Elf one, the Blood Elf one, and the Draenei one as well.
Though Lady Sylvanas and her Forsaken finally took vengeance upon their hated enemy, the Lich King, their dark crusade in Northrend proved costly. Betrayed by Grand Apothecary Putrus at the Battle of Wrathgate, the Forsaken's devious plague of death was unleashed upon both the Alliance and the Horde to calamitous effect. Unbeknownst to Sylvanas, Putrus and his demonic ally, Varimathras, had taken control of the Undercity. As a result, the Forsaken were wrongly blamed for the traitor's atrocities. Though the Undercity was eventually retaken, Sylvanas and her followers still bear the weight of Putrus' sins. Mistrusted by the other members of the Horde, the Forsaken must now prove their loyalty to the cause and redeem themselves from their supposed treachery. To this end, Sylvanas has bolstered her defenses within the Tirisfal Glades and readied her undead forces for any contingency. As one of the Forsaken, you must use your cunning and viciousness to slay any who would pose a threat to Sylvanas' rule, be they human, undead, or otherwise.
Turbrumble, rise. Welcome back to the realm of the living. With the blessing and power of the Dark Lady, I have freed you from death's grip. Report to Undertaker Mordo at Death's Knell and Tearsfall Glades. Okay, so give me 1 second. Seems like most of the controls I set up came over. We are just going to pull up some macros real quick that make this very much not as difficult. Those are so that I can retarget things and drop target, and then this hides the chat. Boop. There we go. Okay. Oh, and I do want to there we go. It is pretty cool to see these guys.
Hello.
Hello there. You must be Turbrumble. I am pleased to see you're up and walking around. You've held up nicely, especially after being dead for so long. Others weren't as lucky. If you wouldn't mind, I need you to fetch my embalming fluid and some twine to stitch up these bodies. You'll find both in the Shadow Grave, the building just behind me. Here, Darnell will join you. He knows the way.
Victory for Sylvanus.
What's up, Darnell? That dude's pretty cool. He's also like time and a half the size of all of the other Forsaken. He must have been an ogre. Or something. Like half ogre.
I can't loot that right now.
Okay. We are going to we're going to turn on auto loot real quick. Because I don't want to have to deal with that every time I loot. Darnell, unable to find anything. I think he says as much. Yeah. Where could those supplies be? I don't know. The table with everything on them? I never asked for this. Leave me alone.
What do you require?
You will find the items within the Shadow Grave. Exactly what I needed. You'll be an asset to the Forsaken, Turbrumble. You know, word has it that you were quite the warlock in your previous life. Perhaps I should assign you to a more exciting task. The Valkyr raise hundreds of corpses every day. Agatha raised you just a few moments ago. Not all are as lucky as you, however. Some maintain their free will, but live in constant fear and confusion. They usually run off into the woods, cowering at their own reflections. Others lose their minds completely, shambling about aimlessly. They often turn to violence and must be destroyed. This is your task, Turbrumble. Destroy them, our former brothers and sisters, though they might be.
Trust no one.
Okay. No, there we go. I kind of miss Shadow Bolt at the higher levels. Affliction doesn't have it, and Demonology, usually you take Demon Bolt, unless that's changed since I last played it.
Speak quickly.
Not even the power of the Valkyr was enough to save these creatures. They were doomed from the beginning. I have obtained some equipment for you, Turbrumble. It's not much, but it will help. And I'm going with the gloves. I am done with you. There are, however, others who can use your aid.
Farewell.
Those bags. B to equip. There we go. And now I have fancy handguards. Fancy, mostly useless
I'm
handguards.
listening.
Yes, and who might you be? King, peasant, or warlock? I don't care what you were before. I just need somebody with a working tongue.
Watch your back.
Okay, so it looks like I need to speak with Lillian Voss, Marshall Redpath, and Valdred Moray. That's interesting, except for Valdred. No, I do remember Valdred. All of these people, except for Lillian maybe, were in the old version of this zone. Marshall Redpath.
This had better be good.
Stand back, monster. You want to fight? Because I'll fight you. I'll fight any one of you creatures. Do you hear me? I'm not here to fight. I've only been asked to speak with you. Oh, really? Fine. I don't want to join you in your Forsaken. Maybe I'll start my own Forsaken. Maybe I'll invent Forsaken with elbows. You're free to do whatever you like.
Victory for Sylvanas.
Who are you calling a monster? You're the monster. I'm just a man who died. Bye, Marshall. Yep.
What will you require?
Get away from me, you abomination. I'm not an abomination, just like you. The undead are a taint upon Azeroth. Every one of you creatures deserves to be destroyed. Lillian, do you not realize that you are undead yourself?
Our time will come.
No, you're lying. My father will protect me. She has a super cool storyline that we might have to go into a dungeon to finish. Actually, multiple dungeons. What's up, Valdred?
And you are...
What? What's going on? Who are you? What happened to me? Don't you remember? You died. I died? Calm down. Oh, yes, you're right. I died. It was an orc. He cut off my hands and left me to die. Valdred looks down at his hands. These aren't my hands! These aren't my hands! Calm down, Valdred. Undertaker Mordo probably sewed some new ones on for you. He looks back down at his hands. Oh, shit. There we go. I suppose this is my fate, then. Become part of an undead army? Somehow I never considered that I might end up fighting for the Forsaken. You talk to Undertaker Mordo. He'll take you. Damn it, I keep skipping that. What do I do now? You talk to Undertaker Mordo. He'll tell you what to do. That's all I know.
Beware the living.
I see. Well then, let's get to work, Turbrumble. The Dark Lady needs us, right? I wonder if he actually completes the walk all the way over to Mordo. That would be cool. He does. Valdred Moray, reporting for duty, sir. Oh shit, he's gone.
What is it?
You've done well, Warlock. As you can see, not all of us have resigned to our fates. I'm glad to see that you're at least willing to work. Valdred will be a valuable asset to the Forsaken. As for the other two, there's not much we can do. We cannot force them to join us. Darnell tells me that the two of you have already met. That's good, because I'm sending you both into Death Knell. Your work is done here. Speak with Death Guard Saltaine in Death Knell to the north. He will tell you more of what you must know.
Watch your back.
Okay. Alright, and I'm going to do a quick Alt-Tab. Check if anyone's even here. Okay. We're making pretty good time. Only 20 minutes. Okay. I do like to zoom in and let's see. There we go. Control Z. Yeah, there we go. Do like a yeah. Give everyone a really good look at the Valkyr, which is a lot harder to keep steady with a joystick. Yeah, they look pretty cool. Okay. Good, you're still here. Now where's Death Guard Saltaine? Ah, here he is. Thank you, Darnell.
Speak quickly.
Those Valkyr have been really busy resurrecting you newbies lately. I'll have already seen a couple dozen new bodies run down that hill since this morning. You, however, are the most promising warlock I've seen today. We've been shipping in dead bodies from Silverpine, Hillsbrad, hell, anywhere we can get them from. We can't, however, afford to ignore the bodies which are sitting right on our front doorstep. The last vestiges of the Scarlet Crusade roam here in Tirisfal Glades. While we've managed to push them from Death Knell, several of their bodies litter the buildings to the north and the east. Go find them, and bring that Darnell fellow with you. He looks strong enough to carry a few corpses.
Watch your back.
Yes, he does. This is Pavlova is also a really cool looking bear. That is what I would expect of an undead hunter. Well, there's a quest in here. Let's grab it. No, I don't want to talk to the novice.
What now?
If you're going to be an asset to the Forsaken, you need to learn how to fight. There's no better target than the Scourge minions that continue to pester us. The wretched ghouls and rattlecage skeletons that roam the north and into the east are the former troopers of the fallen Scourge. They should prove to be an even match for a fledgling warlock like you. Do not tarry. When you are done, speak to me again.
Our time will come.
Okay. Yep, fair enough. 2 tasks. And what level am I? 2. I wonder if I have... Nope. I get corruption at level 3. Okay. Well, there's a shit ton of bodies. As we discussed on the last stream, the targeting unfortunately gets really weird when it comes to... I'm just going to pick up all the bodies first. When it comes to the... Damn, Darnell's strong. When it comes to corpses and looting and quest objectives, sometimes it's real weird. I feel like we need one more notch out. There we go. Three more of these dudes. No, I wonder. Okay. The music was turned off. That's odd. There we go. And we're ready to turn in.
This had better be good.
Great work, Turbrumble. I knew you weren't useless. Here, take one of these. We Death Guard have piles of these things just sitting around.
Our
Belts.
time will come.
Just piles of belts.
Hello.
You're growing in strength, Turbrumble. I've seen your type before. You'll be moving out of Death Knell and on to greater things before long. Just make sure you don't lose sight of where you started. You have much to accomplish, Warlock. I love how he can talk even though he has no bottom jaw. Why don't you speak with my novice, Elrith? She serves me and will have some task for which you can apply your new abilities.
Beware the living.
Oh yeah, just got corruption. First we're going to put on new belt. Bam. And new boots, which we won't be able to even see. And now that I want to talk to her, there we go. That's weird.
I haven't got all day.
May the Dark Lady watch over you, Turbrumble. Earlier on, I saw a young Forsaken woman running towards the old inn. She was screaming for her life, pleading to be taken back home. Not all of us are as resolute as others, Turbrumble. Even so, we must accept our fate as undead if we are to rise up against those that would put us down. Take my hand, Mir, and show it to the young woman. She needs to see what she really is, and join us in our cause. Besides, we can use all the bodies we can get.
Trust no one.
I really love how the Forsaken, on one hand, there are some of them that are like, yeah, we need to, like, we can't force you to do anything. You can join us or, you know, screw off and do whatever you want. And then there are other Forsaken that are just like, nope, you need to join us. Like, also, a panda just hanging out with a bunch of undead. Here, try this. Ah, sure. I'm pretty sure he just fed her plague. I'm I'm very sure that's what he just did. Freaking pandas. Okay, Lillian.
What would you ask of death?
Get away from me, you monster! Don't look at me! I'm hideous! You're not hideous, Lillian. You're one of us. Here, look in this mirror. See for yourself.
Beware the living.
Choo-choo. I just like laser beamed her in the face. You don't understand. I can't be undead. Not me. Not now. Bitch, I'ma find you. And then she just cowers up here until some quests down the line. Oop. The truth of the grave. It's so inconsistent.
Hello?
You say she ran away? What a shame. Very well, as long as she's maintained her free will, there's still hope. I can keep you busy here in town all week, but you seem to be more the fighting type. Elrith looks you over and nods. Yes, you'll do just fine. I'd like you to go to the Executor, Aaron. Follow the path north out of Death Knell. You'll find him not far past the barricades.
Goodbye.
And now we're gonna go talk to Aaron. Nope, no new armor. I do really like the skybox in this zone. Dead Scarlet.
I am forsaken.
What do we have here? A new warlock ready for battle, eh? First of all, look at your armor. You're a mess, warlock. If you'd like to stay in one piece, and I have no doubt you do, perhaps I can help. If you can gather some paws and wings from the wolves and bats nearby, maybe I'll find some armor for you. You'll find the creatures to the north and to west of here.
Trust no one.
Okay. So now we are... now we are back to ye old standard quests. Of go collect a bunch of bear asses. There we go. Wait for it to run back. There we go. Dusk Bat. Thing is tiny. We must have crit there. Sometimes in these buildings outside of Death Knell proper, the barricades, there are chests. So I'm going to take a look in here. There's, at least it used to be that there was always one chest going in this town. So you just had to look through all the buildings to find it. Unless, you know, someone else got it. I don't know if they do chests anymore, though. I seem to remember at some point them saying that they weren't going to do chests anymore. But I don't know if that was met with, like, fan outcry or what. Because interesting enough, if I remember correctly, chests used to also give you a little bit of experience. And the chests in Northrend weren't just like, oh, here's like a +1 sword or whatever. It's like, here's a rare item, a whole bunch of crafting materials, some, like, a decent chunk of money, and like a couple, like, low level or lower potency magic items. And it's like, when you found a chest there, you got a lot of experience, some good money. Damn, doesn't look like there are any. Either someone else must have got it, or they just decided to stop doing the chests, I guess. That sucks. Chests are fun. I mean, it's also a great way to have the random, spike in power at low levels to make it feel like you really
What now?
got something. Do try your best to keep yourself unharmed until I get you some armor. Thank you, Turbrumble. This armor should help you out. One of our greatest struggles is obtaining the natural resources we need to survive. Gold was scarce in Lordaeron, even in the height of the Alliance's power so many years ago. There is a gold mine to the west that has been overrun with spiders. We need gold from the mine, but we can't very well get it while the spiders are crawling around in there. I've not much manpower to commit to the task, so we'll just have to do it little by little. Get up there and see what you can do for us, Turbrumble.
Beware the living.
Hell yeah. I'll kill spiders. If you time your casts right, you can cast Corruption immediately as the same time that you cast Shadow Bolt, which I'll try to do here. Yeah, like that. And that way you don't waste extra time in the fight. Things die slightly quicker. But there's a very small window of time when playing this game that you can queue up the next ability that you want your character to do. So you got to be careful when you do that, because sometimes, changing conditions. But level 4. I wonder. Summon Imp is level 5.
I need to target something first.
Yeah, and when you start to get your timings down, sweet, auto-equip the bag. You can take multiple mobs on as a warlock, and just let them die to the damage over time effect that you put on them. And obviously, the higher level you get, the more dangerous it is to do that. But eventually, this character will get a pet that will tank for it. Oh, cool. We've done all that we need to. Just still gonna explore the mine. Hope that there might be like a rare mob back here, because there used to be. Nightweb Matriarch. No. This used to be a rare elite mob, which would give you more experience and drop a nice item, or have a better chance of dropping a nice item. That really sucks that they got rid of that. It really sucks. See, is it? No, it's... Yeah, there we go. Now I can look behind me. Oh. Still a little weird to get used to the reverse view.
What would you ask of death?
Well, it's a start. It'll take a few weeks or months to fully clean up the infestation. After that, we'll have to get down there with some torches to burn away the webbing. You've done your duty well, Turbrumble. While you were inside that cave, your big friend Darnell came by with some alarming news. Since the Valkyr arrived, we've seen more and more undead that choose not to join our forces under the banner of the Dark Lady. Now they've been gathering at a small camp here in the valley, and now they're organizing forces. They plan to attack Deathnell Warlock. Darnell is just down the road to the east. Be careful, Turbrumble. While those undead are completely brainless, they're still not quite right in the head.
Remember,
Okay.
patience, discipline.
Let's equip. Damn it. Let's equip our spiffy new shirt. Starting to look like a real person. Here's Darnell. I always, for some reason, think that this camp was what they were talking about, but this camp was a camp of named mobs back in the original version of the zone that you had to kill their leader. I think it was Samuel over there, and you had to take his remains back to town and bury them for his undead wife, because he came out all scourged and brainless. And if you notice when looking at when looking at what they consider to be the Scourge and Brainless, there are a whole bunch of different Scourge variants of the undead, but all of the Forsaken look the same.
What is it?
You see those tents up there? That's where we're headed. The battle has probably already started. Can't use the bastard sword, so we'll take the Forsaken sword. Kill Marshal Redpath and 8 rot-brain undead.
Beware.
Oh
Our
shit, I
enemy
forgot
is
to read
abound.
the text. Let's see if I can pull that up. While you were taking care of matters for Executor Aaron, I went off on an assignment of my own. Shadow Priest Sarvis asked me to peek in on the Rotbrain camp. There's a reason why they're called Rotbrains. Their leader goes by the name of Marshal Redpath, and he's an absolute beast. Look, Turbrumble, the attack is starting. You're better in combat than I am. Get in there and help out. When you're done, meet up with Shadow Priest Sarvis in the chapel. Good luck. Then we get this really nice map of Death Knell. Real nice. I keep doing that. B to equip. There we go. I got like a little scimitar thing. Okay, guys, don't help me. That's fine. I got it. A-holes. Okay, so before we get in a fight with him, let's just oh, that's not what I wanted at all. The inventory management is not so great with the controls. Okay, Marshal. Pretty soon he's gonna do a whirlwind. Yep. And here's our last Rotbrain. I wish this that fight with Marshall would have been um, a little bit scarier. Did a little bit more damage. It might have just been because I knew to avoid the whirlwind, but I don't know. I felt like probably could have made that fight seem a little bit more impressive. He is basically the boss monster of this entire starting zone. And all they really did was show, oh yeah, sometimes stuff does special moves. Lillian, I can talk to you. Through the wall.
I'm listening. Dark Lady,
That's
what
hilarious.
you?
Alright. Mr. Shadow Priest Sarvis.
What is it?
Being born again under the power of a Valkyr is a strenuous process. Many don't survive the shock, turning into zombies or ghouls. Others retain just enough humanity to seem normal on the outside, but they're sick inside. We should have slain those rot brains the day they were raised. As for you, you're a strong warlock, Turbrumble. I knew you'd do well. You'll be headed out of Death Knell soon. Sarvis produces a piece of paper from his robes. These will need to be taken to my field agent, Death Guard Simmer. This information contains the whereabouts of the last few holdouts from the Scarlet Crusade. We will destroy those Crusaders once and for all, and I have a feeling you'll be instrumental in that effort, Turbrumble. Take the road north out of Death Knell. Soon after entering Chair's Fall proper, you'll see a large manse simmers inside. Damn it.
Trust
We
no one.
missed Darnell and all of his stuff. Basically, Darnell is being made into a Death Guard. So now he's got the cool Death Guard look, wearing their armor. He's giant, huge man, as normal. And let's pull that up. Hi, Turbrumble. What do you think of my new gear? They're making me into a Death Guard. Can you believe it? I'll probably be staying here in Death Knell if things work out, though. Who knows? Maybe I'll get to meet the Dark Lady herself. How about you? I've heard that Sarvis is going to send you off to Calston Estate. Big assignment, eh? Well, I won't hold you up. It's been a pleasure, Turbrumble. Hope our paths cross again. Darnell's a pretty swell guy. Pretty swell guy. I already have that, so just gonna destroy it. Okay. So, yep, we have no more quests here in Death Knell, and I'm going to go to the next area and then take a quick break for about 5-10 minutes, get something to drink and some lunch, and then I will be back for a second part. Hopefully I'll be able to interact with any comments. I got a new TV that is acting as my monitor, and it's so big it takes up the entirety of my desk. So I unfortunately haven't seen any comments that you might have been putting, so I will respond to those when I get to the next area and have a few minutes. unfortunately, Calvin used to give us a quest, but now is completely unable to be interacted with. I think it might be something to do specifically with rogues now, but it used to be a quest that everyone could pick up if my memory serves. And now that we're out of Death Knell, you can see that that whole area of Death Knell was really only a tiny piece of a much larger map. And this entire map is the starting zone for the Forsaken. There's Gordo. I think he gives us a quest eventually. Alrighty, there's Death Guard Simmer. Sitting below a picture of which I can only assume is the first Death Guard, maybe? That might explain why there's like a devil candle shrine below it. That's interesting. Okay. So, okay, just at 1 hour. Okay, well, I am going to stop streaming for here right now, and I will be back in about 10 minutes.